into a sun-baked courtyard in 15th century Samarkand, and you are surrounded by the immense wealth of the Timurid Empire. The turquoise Majolica tiles of the Registans stretch upward, built to project absolute power. But down at ground level, there is a physical problem to solve. You have to cook thousands of pounds of meat, vegetables, and rice over a massive, roaring wood fire. In a massive cast iron kazan like this, the bottom would usually burn long before the top is cooked, and the weight of the liquid should turn the rice into mush. To execute this feat, you have to break the most basic instinct of cooking. You cannot stir the pot. The ingredients must remain in a state of absolute separation. By stacking ingredients instead of mixing them, the 15th century Samarkand kazan acts as a thermal processor, using rising steam to manage the varied cooking times of the Silk Road's bounty. The construction begins with searing heat. A master chef, or oshpaz, drops the rendered fat of a fat-tailed sheep into the cauldron, alongside a dark oil pressed from flax and sesame called zigir. This data, recovered from the nearby Kafir Kala fortress using protein analysis, reveals how central these animals were to the region. It shows that 80% of the meat consumed here came from specifically managed flocks of sheep and goats. Chunks of mutton and marrow bones are submerged into the fat. The high temperature creates a deep golden crust on the meat, providing the savory base for the layers to follow. This heavy foundation of fat and seared mutton belongs to the world of the nomadic steppe, a high-calorie anchor for a meal that would feed thousands. Over that meat, the chef drops a layer of thinly sliced onions, caramelizing them until sweet. Then he adds a thick mountain of julienned yellow carrots, the authentic historical choice. The chef crushes wild cumin between his fingers to release its oils into the steam, then pours in boiling water. This creates the zirvak, a rich, aromatic stew base. Into this simmering broth, he buries whole bulbs of garlic, pre-soaked chickpeas, and handfuls of sweet yellow raisins. This bubbling zirvak acts as a microcosm of the Silk Road, bringing the agricultural roots of the oasis together with the dried fruits and spices of distant trade routes. Now comes the most delicate moment. Pristine, washed long-grain rice cascades directly over the simmering stew. He must not stir the pot. This method of keeping the grains separate from the stew is a documented Central Asian technique. It was recorded as an intentional practice as early as the 13th century Arabic manuscript, the Kitab al-Wusla. This cross-section shows the thermal dynamics. Boiling water sits above the rice. Heat creates upward pressure, forcing steam through the layers. For the final phase, damlish, the chef pokes vent holes, covers the kazan, and lets the fire reduce to embers. By managing the heat and steam instead of physically mixing the ingredients, the oshpaz preserves the distinct identity and texture of everything in the pot. When the heavy lid is finally lifted, a cloud of spiced steam escapes. The chef pushes the snowy rice aside to reveal the perfectly preserved layers of yellow carrots and tender mutton beneath. The meal is scooped onto a massive ceramic platter. He keeps the layers separate, ensuring the delicate rice is served directly on top of the savory meats and vegetables. Guests in layered silk robes gather around a low table. To eat together with their right hands from this single communal platter is an ancient gesture of hospitality and kinship. The pastoralism of the steppe, the agriculture of the oasis, and eastern trade routes all met in Samarkand. Inside this cauldron, N's clashing worlds were stacked and steamed into a single, unified dish, a meal that used a shared plate to build a bond of trust.